You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got T to the mother effing
T to the mother K. Get it right.
Okay, I had to clean myself up.
Keep it 100.
TK Kirkland in this mother.
I would go so far as to say I think TK is one of the top 3 funniest people I've ever seen on stage.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Ever. Why you think you haven't blown to that level yet, TK?
It all depends on what you call your definition of success.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If people base success on if you did a movie, if you did television shows, you just got to really know your lane. Mm-hmm. And when I came up in the game, my lane was putting people on. I put everybody on from D.L. Hughley to Jamie Foxx to Mike Epps, Sandra Bullock, people who I managed along with a gentleman named David Klingman and Tommy Chesterow. So that was my avenue because I was a hustler. Everybody know my MO. So I was a hustler coming up, got a master's degree in college and ran track. That was my main thing. And I just happened to stumble onto this because comedy really wasn't my thing.
Gotcha.
Comedy was just something that I stumbled onto and it just went from there.
What was you hustling at the time?
Well, I was hustling everything from education to working with my family out of Philadelphia because my family was the real junior mafia out of Philadelphia, James Cole and those my cousins. So my thing was making money, going to college, running track and field, went to Olympic trials in 1984. Gotcha. In track and field, graduated from Snyder High School in Jersey City, New Jersey, and the rest is history.
Now, when you say put people on, is it true that you had like the first black comedy club in L.A., you and Robin Harris?
Yeah.
The late, great Robin Harris?
What happened, Michael Williams and Robin Harris started the Comedy Act Theater. Okay. And you know how everybody in Harlem now have their own comedy clubs? Well, I had like 6 of those back in the day before Will Smith blew up, before Mike Tyson and them all blew up. We all used to hang together. Teddy Riley and Guy, all those people was my friends, and that's how I really got on. I ran into a young man on the Bobby Brown and what's the girl who passed away who sings real good.
Whitney Houston, the white girl.
Yeah,
that passed away.
Oh, what's the name of artist?
Tina Marie. And saw a gentleman walking through the audience at the Coliseum, and it was Eazy-E.
Oh, wow.
And I walked up to him and I said, yo, you need to put me on your show, yo. So him, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube came to see me perform at the Comedy Store, and I went on the tour straight out of Compton in 1988.
I did hear that. I heard that you used to open up for NWA.
I used to open up for NWA. And what was so crazy in 1988, my act was so insane that they banned me on tour with NWA.
Wow, you got banned. NWA banned you.
Yeah, 11 o'clock news, everything. It was like they banned me like 4 cities.
But what did you get banned for? What were you saying?
See, back in 88, before this thing took off, there were certain things you couldn't say in certain cities. In certain cities, they have a code that there's certain language you can't use, et cetera, et cetera. So back then, there was a movie that came out called Mississippi Burning.
Right, I remember
Mississippi Burning, when I went on stage, I said, how many white people sing Mississippi Burning? Stand up. I said, how many black people saw Mississippi Burning stand up? I said, well, hang them MS. And that got me in trouble.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a rap, brother.
They used to do that with rappers too, though, because, they didn't want NWA to sing F the Police in a lot of those cities.
It was
like, if you sing it, you'll get arrested.
Yep, but it even happened with R&B when I was on tour with Bobby Brown. Me, him, and his brother got arrested in Georgia.
For what?
Because you couldn't curse in Georgia. It was a
wow,
certain
they were
time
really
in Georgia.
arresting, not just a fine.
Yeah, it was serious. But the thing I told Bobby this like 2 weeks ago, they left me though. I got arrested. You the tour people. You're supposed to get your artists out.
Right.
I had to give my homie my credit card, go get my people out, and et cetera to get out of jail.
Wow.
So Bobby and his brother got out, but
they left me. They sure did.
Now, with NWA, did you think the movie was accurate?
The movie was accurate to the T. Everybody who was attached to it really thought they should be in the movie.
Gotcha.
But Ice Cube showed it from his point of view. And he has the right to do it that way.
Because a lot of people say they didn't like the way Eazy-E was depicted. They was like, he didn't go broke. They was like, Suge would have never put
Jerry Heller didn't like the way he was depicted.
Well, I can tell you this. Everything was right about Jerry. Everything was right about Suge. And I don't know if Eazy was broke, but I don't think Eazy was broke.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think Eazy was broke. But his wife was executive producer, so I'm quite sure if she didn't want that in there, she could have said not to put that in there. So, only way we know if we can have his bank statements.
Right.
So what made you decide to make comedy your #1 priority?
Because I did a party once, and the gentleman hired me, and I did it, got off stage. He came up to me, put an arm fist of money in my hand. I didn't look at it until I got home. It was like $700 for like 15 minutes. And I was like, that's it. And the rest is history.
That's my new job.
That's the new hustle, right?
Now, what you doing, comedian? Sometimes I'm hearing a lot of comedians steal your stuff, especially the who raised you.
Right,
that's
right,
yours.
right.
But I hear comedians do it. Does that bother you?
No, some comedians, they don't do it in the act. At least I haven't seen it. But I was always, and he'll tell you, Charlamagne will tell you, my act always involved every day. And some comics keep the same thing all the time. But I can come up with material. Like my new thing now is, why would you put yourself under that type of pressure when there's a group of college women graduating in June? You know? And basically that's about men who date women that got children. And not that there's anything wrong with dating women with children, is that most men are not men. They can't lead a family. So why would you put yourself to that type of pressure when there's a group of college women graduating in June? It's a whole new team coming out here. So basically, why would you put yourself under that kind of pressure when you know you're a weak man anyway?
That's why I tell my girls, stop dating all these guys with baby mamas. Not really the kids, but you got to deal with them crazy baby mamas.
Crazy baby mamas, all that type of stuff is based on choices in life. Everything comes down to choices in life. And I tell people, no matter how attractive a woman looks in a club or what kind of nice car a man drives, a relationship is not serious until one, you see how they live, and two, you see their order of priorities. You know, all that's important.
Now, when I see you performing, it's not really a comedy show. It's more like a seminar.
Yes.
Especially for the young ladies.
Yes, exactly.
Clearly, you're still providing those services.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I believe in the world has really gotten off the track of tradition. The world has really gotten off the track of men treating our women with class. And this is why women, to me, are turning gay, turning bisexual, because I really feel men should lead the nation. And by men being weak, everybody wants to be independent and lead their own, because we don't have strong men out there leading our women and protecting them and encouraging them. So guys are steal their income tax checks. They'll get them pregnant and leave them and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a bad thing. So I'm going to do, if I can only help one person at a time, I do it because it's a big crisis.
I find there's a lot of guys that I know now that are turning bisexual now as well. And women have no problem with it. Like, for instance, we have Miles up here from Love and
Let me tell you something. I'm going to cut you off.
He's bisexual, and his DMs are crazy. He says he's bisexual. Women are still like, what's good? I want to get with you.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When you lower your standards to that point, you have lost. You don't stand for nothing. Don't get me wrong, because do you believe in God?
Of course.
Okay. Even if you don't believe in Jesus, you believe in God. There's a Bible that teaches you what's right and what's wrong. Don't get me wrong. We have one sin doesn't make another sin better, and I'm not right or wrong. It's just my opinion, because everybody's going to do what they want to do. I just believe in all the journeys that I've gone through in life. The best thing to do is do the right thing.
So what do you think is doing the right thing?
Right thing is man dates women and women date men, and that's it. And if it is some bisexual going on where there's a menage a trois, if a man is not in the room, it's a felony.
Oh, come on now.
What do you think of the feminization of men in 2016, especially in hip hop? Because you were one of the, I would say you were the first hip hop comedian.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say something else.
So you were around hip hop when hip hop were men.
Right, that's true.
What do you think of these guys that wearing skirts? You know,
man.
What do you think?
There's no words for it, fam.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even know the guy that had the hit song, because I don't listen to music a lot, but it was a song I liked. And I said, yo, that dude is off the chain. And then when my son showed me who he was and he was wearing a skirt, I was mad, yo.
Must have been Young Thug.
The homeboy that works with Baby and them.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. And I was like, yo, you got to be kidding me. Now, Baby and them my whole crew. I roll with them too. You know, I did baller blocking with them when they first started, and was with Lil Wayne and them ever since they was 16, since he was 16 years old.
Now, Baby and Wayne used to kiss in the mouth too now.
Now, I saw that personally. And I was on tour. And no disrespect, if Baby and them listen, they know I'm keeping it 100. And I was on tour, and when they was paying everybody their money, I saw them kissing him and BG. And I had to turn my head to the left because to pretend that it didn't happen. But one of my connects down there, the plug in New Orleans, I called and said, yo, y'all kiss each other down here in New Orleans? He said, nah, TK, just Baby and them really on that other thing.
They ain't never try to kiss you?
Nah, no, there ain't nobody gonna try to kiss me, baby.
But you heard him, he did say Baby was paying everybody, so Baby does pay people.
Yeah, no. That's a whole nother story.
Okay.
You know, he was picking up the money. But it's not my job to come on here and put the man on blast, because really it's about me tonight. Baby Rich, I'm trying to get my thousandaire status up. You feel me?
Yeah. Now, what if a guy wears a dress, but he's still a goon? Because you can still, like, it's
but that's strange, because I see that. I was on Instagram and dudes was looking feminine, but they had the hat to the side with the guns.
Yeah.
Come on, you seen Omar on The Wire?
And they really would shoot you.
Yeah, sassy savages is what I call them.
Yeah, what they call them?
Sassy savages.
Man, that's why I go do my show. I pick up a girl, and I go to my room. Now, even when you pick up girls, you got to ask them, do they have baby pictures of when they was young, and do they have any kids? Because you just can't snap these. Even the men who turn into women look incredible.
Yeah,
it's sad out here, yo.
You've been in LA for a long time, so you've seen women like what do you call? I guess transsexuals before.
Yeah, but I live in Vegas. And they all over. But my son sends me pictures all the time, so I think he'd be playing with me. You know what I'm saying?
You think
he said,
she's
Dad,
hot?
look at this. And the first time he said, that's a female. So when he sends me pictures of women now, I don't know what to comment. I'll wait to see what the punchline is.
We do that to Charlamagne.
Yeah, we do that to Charlamagne. Isn't she hot?
She's bad.
He's like, yeah, she look good.
Like, oh, so why y'all do that to me?
See, that's sad, yo. But what can you do? The world has changed, basically. You know, what can you do?
Well, you can turn your penis into a vagina nowadays. People
It's
are doing
sad,
it.
young lady.
I don't want no cyborg box.
Yeah, it's sad. I like women. I like taking women shopping. I like treating them good. I like dating multiple women.
You a sugar daddy?
No, I'm not a sugar daddy. I'm a provider.
You can still do that with transsexuals if you choose. Though.
Yeah, but just the thought of that, yo.
Yeah.
They can't think like that.
Now, what do you think about Bill Cosby and everything that's going on with him?
You know, I thought about, a couple weeks ago, I was saying Bill Cosby did it.
Okay.
But I changed back and I fell back on that because the media has a way of flipping things to make a person seem guilty until you go to the court of law. And you have to sometimes, unless you ever caught a case, you don't know what I'm talking about. When you catch a case, it's a different type of feeling. And once it's out there, especially with social media, when I used to catch my cases, it was in the 90s. So I didn't have those type of issues the way they have now with everywhere at one time. But there's two sides of Bill Cosby, in my opinion. One, I hope that he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was such a fly dude that you didn't have to go that route. But most men who are really successful, like Tiger Woods, the Kobe Bryants, the Bill Cosby, they don't have swag. They don't have conversation to pull a female. Right. And see, even when you get money, there's some things you got to have. That's why some women, when they meet dudes with money, they so corny that they can't really keep a girl because their conversation level is weak. They don't know. You know basically what I'm saying. They just really have no game to pull a female. Right. So they just spend money until a woman eventually get tired.
So Bill was just like, F all that, let me if it's
true. But I really think if it is true, women sometimes talk too much, and I think Bill just said, you talking too much. Why don't you just take these things and
we hope not.
I hope not. God bless.
We hope he didn't do that.
You heard about the girl who case got thrown out against Bill, so she went and did a diss record against him.
Yeah.
The one in the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. She made a diss record to Bill Cosby.
Yeah, anything to do to get Bill down. The thing about Bill, we wish him well. He's 70-something years old. We don't know how much longer he got. And I'm quite sure at that age, stress is killing him. Just like it killed my man, the football coach over there at Penn State.
Joe Paterno.
Yeah. Yeah, so his situation, when that hit the fan, it destroyed him.
Now, with your case, was your case ever true?
Which one?
With Puff.
Which one?
Yeah, I have a lot of cases.
Let's talk about TK.
Yeah, I got a lot of cases.
You burned a lot of bridges in the industry.
No, I never burnt any bridges.
People say you're a kleptomaniac.
They might think that, but no. The thing about and that's a good way of putting it.
They say
that's a good way. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's a friendly way. No, but explain to me what you mean.
Like you steal a lot.
No, I don't steal a lot. I stole 2 things.
You stole allegedly. Okay, you stole Diddy's credit card.
No, that never happened.
That's not true.
See, here's the thing about Puffy's credit card. I'm glad we're talking about it. A woman stole Puffy's credit card. Okay. I never snitched on the female.
Okay.
I took the weight.
You took the brunt.
Got you.
I took the weight because I'm not a snitch.
Got you.
So when it hit the fan, I just left it that way because I was able to take the pressure. So it was a female. I don't have to say her name. It went down, and that's the way it went. But I never took Puffy's credit card.
Was it a woman you were close to?
Yeah, and I was having sex with her. I was kicking with her.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and and she had a hustle that came up. It went down that way, but I never told on her to this day. And that was over 20-something years ago.
Did you still have sex with her after that?
He better be able to.
I don't know. No. We sure didn't have sex after that. She was
That's
nervous.
a good reason to cut somebody
She was
off.
nervous and I was nervous because she didn't know if I was going to tell on her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just left it that way and let the chips fall because it was a domino effect. My cousins who are federal agents was involved in that too.
Gotcha.
So it was embarrassing for my mother. It was embarrassing for our family. But not one time did I snitch. The crazy thing about the Puffy situation was, see, this is how I believe in karma.
Mm-hmm.
When that case happened, my crew was going to try to talk to Puff to let him know what really went down.
Right.
But this when Puff was #1 in the world, and he was feeling himself. You
What
know.
year was this?
This is in 1998, 99.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So one of my partners, who's Puff friends, Eric Von Zip, also my man from the attorney that got OJ off.
Johnny Cochran?
Johnny Cochran is one of my dearest friends.
Really?
Yeah, one of my dearest friends. So me and Johnny Cochran sat in Justin. We was going to try to tell Puff what went down, but we felt like Puff didn't want to hear it. So karma came back 360 when Puff caught the case with Jennifer Lopez at the
club in the city.
At the club. So the same DA, the same prosecutors came to me at Rikers Island to try to get me to turn against Puff to try to say I saw him with the gun.
Really? They wanted you to lie.
They wanted me to lie.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't lie on him. And I said, nah, I got this.
Wait, so you even ended up going to Rikers Island for that case?
I went to Rikers Island because I switched attorneys, and the judge got mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Because, I had a little paper, so I was
did he
switching
got you
judge.
locked up for stealing
No,
the gun?
he didn't get me locked up.
Okay.
I was fighting the case for 2 years. Anybody know about catching the case? You don't go to trial right away. You fight it for a while. And then what happened when I changed attorneys, the judge got mad at me. And she said, basically, and said, remanded me for 30 days at Rikers.
Wow.
So while I was up there, that's when the prosecutors came to me. That's when Puff caught his case and said, hey, can you come, blah, blah, blah. And I went for the ride. They took me out of the jail cell. He had blimpie sandwiches, a nice coat. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
So when the girl, you ever told Puff the story? You ever told Puff the story?
No, I never told Puff the story.
But this is his network, so he's
I'm just,
gonna see it.
I'm a man's man. I ain't snitch on. I didn't lie on him. I didn't need to get off and say, I saw him. Basically, they was gonna try to put me away. That's why you got money. You know what I'm saying? So I fought the case.
Did you use the credit card?
No, we never did. The credit card was never used. See, that's the thing that
She
people
tried to
never
buy
knew.
something.
$104,000.
No, tried to.
No, the phone call was made to get the jewelry. The jeweler never ran the card, never did nothing. The jeweler used that as publicity for his store.
Right.
So it was called attempted grand larceny. Nothing never happened. And this is the first time people hearing one, TK Kirkland never did it. It was a female, never snitched on her. The jewelry store never there was never a credit card used.
Right.
Period.
You never bought anything.
Nothing. It's just like if you go into a bank and you get ready to rob them, you got a note, and then you change your mind, but they find a note, they're going to still arrest you.
Yeah.
And just the way it is, But you go through life and you have your life lessons. And life lessons teaches you to better yourself. You can make choices. You can either stay that route, or you can go to you can stay being a gangster, or you can stay and do positive things. And the best man that ever said the best was Malcolm X. He said, I'm ashamed to be a criminal, but it'll be even worse of a shame if I stayed a criminal. So I was never a criminal. I was an opportunist that certain situations happen, and I took advantage of it because I've been rich my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I just was a guy who understood opportunity. Like everybody in here, if somebody coming through your neighborhood and give you a flat screen TV and it's cost $3,000 and you get it for $150 or $2,000, you're gonna take it. But if you get caught,
possession of stolen property.
Possession of stolen property.
What about when you took advantage of opportunity and took Eddie Murphy's watch?
And that never happened either.
Arsenio Hall said it happened.
But
TK.
Arsenio Hall said it, but Arsenio Hall wasn't there. What happened with Eddie Murphy? No, listen. Let me explain to you about the difference between this. This happened when I was 19 years old. I'm 55 years old. So when we talk about stuff like that, you got to remember half of you guys was even born. So we're talking about ancient history at the same time. But it's good to put it out here on this type of show because it's just great publicity, and it's, for once and for all, we can get the facts done. Yeah. So Eddie Murphy watch never got stolen. Charlie Murphy watch is the one who got stolen. Now, Charlie Murphy, and this is how the story went. So we could put this so everybody, all the comics who go around the country trying to bring up their story, this is the facts. Keenan Ivory Wayans met me and thought that I was even doing comedy. At that time, I was skinny. He said, yo, you look just like Eddie Murphy. Come hang out with us. And as a man, the worst thing I ever did was go to their house and took that man's watch. but that's what life lessons is about. Charlie was washing his perm in the sink. I was sitting on the sink kicking my feet, and something just told me to take the watch.
Kleptomaniac.
That's not a klepto.
That is a kleptomaniac move.
I just took the watch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I bought the watch back. It was a beautiful Rolex. No diamonds, but it was nice.
Right.
So
No
I
diamonds.
took the watch and felt bad about it. And I bought the watch back the next day, but all holy hell had broke out since then.
They knew you took it before you brought it back?
I don't know if they knew. I don't know if they knew.
He was the only outsider there at the time.
But see, it was about to go to war because I was affiliated at that time. So we was really gonna come up there and get them because me and Charlie had a fight on some young stuff.
A fist fight?
Yeah,
but Charlie Murphy was big back then, and you said you were skinny. So who won?
Charlie Murphy wasn't skinny.
He wasn't
No,
skinny.
he wasn't big. Yeah, it wasn't really about a fight. It was basically I was wrong. But it was a life lesson, and it took me years to understand because I have houses.
Right.
And when you let a man into your home, he disrespects your home. It's truly a personal and disrespectful thing.
Absolutely.
So 20 years later, I'm driving my whip in Hollywood, and the Rolls Royce in front of me, and I got my whip behind the Rolls Royce. It's Eddie Murphy. So now I'm a celebrity. They put us all in the same section, VIP section. And it meant everything in my heart to tell that man, I apologize for disrespecting your home. Because it took years to understand what I had become and who I am as a man. And that's what I mean. If anybody's listening to this and you're going through something, it's not about where you are now. It's about your journey to where you're about to go.
Right.
And I'm a man, and that's how come I could sit here and not deny anything that's ever been said about me, explain the facts the way facts are supposed to be explained, and know that my life is beautiful today, it's going to be better tomorrow, and at the end of the day, I'm still one of the top funniest comedians in the world.
So why did everybody say it was Eddie?
It was his
It
house.
was a better story?
It probably was a better story.
Yeah,
it
sounded
His
better.
house too.
Yeah, and it was his house, but I heard it for years, and I never denied it because my whole DNA was Compton.
Right.
My whole DNA was I didn't care what nobody thought. But as you become a man, it's about how people respect you, how they think about you. That's how come I can sit here and talk to anybody and let them know, yes, I did this, I did that, but I'm a man today, and I'm successful today, and I don't take nothing anymore.
Now,
So when you apologize to Eddie,
yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, you haven't seen Charlie.
I
Murphy?
haven't, since that day, I haven't seen Charlie Murphy since 1982.
but you apologized to Eddie.
Yeah, I apologize to
And
Eddie.
what did he say? How was it?
He said, "Are you still worrying about that?" I mean, me, Eddie Murphy and his cousins are fans of mine. You know, they love me to death. And when I talk to them about it, like, "Yo, they still talking about that?" But that's what happens when your education level is low and you don't have common sense to talk about other things. So.
And you haven't ran into Charlie since
That's
82?
crazy. I thought y'all we be on the same circuit. I see y'all all the time.
No, we don't.
Just
I have not saw him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, never saw. Have seen him since then.
So how do you do that? You just bring the watch back, like, look, here it is. You just came back the next day.
I can't
and
remember that far because it's ancient. You know, it's ancient time. It was 1980 something. How old were you in 82?
I was a little kid.
He was a child. Okay, so you can't remember when your mom spanked you when you was in 82.
I remember some of them, some critical ones.
So I can't remember.
I remember some critical spankings.
I can't really remember. You know. And this is how you able when you deal with a lot of prosecution and detectives. That's how come I'm able to handle all you guys coming at me the way you're coming at me.
Now, there's one more. You stole Russell Simmons' rush card.
That
Allegedly.
never happened either.
Rush card?
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. How BS starts. Give me an example.
made
Let me
that
tell
up.
you
He
what
made
that
that
No, it
is.
was a credit card, though.
No, it was a credit card involved. The story felt like,
What was
yeah,
playing?
listen to this now. I'm glad that came up too. Russell Simmons' credit card never got stolen. I never had nothing to do with Russell Simmons' credit card. And Suge Knight credit card got stolen too, but we'll talk about that too. Back when Def Jam started, what went down was my other side hustle was credit cards and flights.
TK was the original credit card scammer, baby.
Yeah.
And he ain't even Nigerian.
But back in the day, flights used to be popular.
Yeah,
You
so
scared me.
that was my extra money. So the only thing that was used at this travel agency, that's when we had travel agencies back in the day, was the name Def Jam. That was it. People like other people took that and ran with it was Russell Simmons' credit card. That never happened whatsoever. It was a move that I used to get through the door. I say, hey, this is comics from Def Jam, because I was flying comics around the country on, you know, how they got buddy passes now? I was the connect.
Right.
So I was sending people different places, getting paper. That's how I was doing. I was the burnout man when they used to have the phones back in the day.
Okay.
Anything that had anything to do getting paper, I was that dude. So that's what happened. So Russell Simmons, that's totally a lie. Now with Suge Knight, it definitely happened. Me and Suge almost went to war because of that. Because I did the same thing with Death Row. Suge found out about it because he couldn't get his artists because they stopped traveling. So me and Suge was in the office. I had a gun. He had a gun. And we decided to a settlement. And I paid the settlement on him. And the rest was history. Because Suge was my bodyguard on tour with NWA.
Really?
Yeah, he was my bodyguard. Suge was my bodyguard. Me and the DLC.
Wow.
So so being black back then, those were just kind of like the passes. Say you were Def Jam. Say you were Death Row. Say you were
it's called wordplay. Yeah. Whenever you hustling, you gotta know what to say to get through the door. The thing about anything with credit card information, if you take somebody's credit card and they understand what the move on the credit card, if I take your credredit card and you see your charges.
Let me check my wallet.
Yeah, check your. You know what? Jay-Z used to do that to me all the time when he used to see me. He start patting himself down. Jay-Z, like, make sure I ain't take. But it's not being a klepto. It was different situations, and it just so happened I'm a celebrity, and it just so happened the stuff that I did was to celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
That's who you was around.
Right. You know, you know, people wish they can get to these type of people that I hang around.
Right.
But all of it was a learning experience. And to every person named that I mentioned, as I stand here today as a man, I apologize if I ever brought you any pain and any harm. Because when you flip it, see, you guys know my stories, but every person that we talked about got a story that we won't talk about. Some people are pedophiles. Some people steal people's publishers. Pedophile.
I'm like
pedophile. You know, I call pedophile. Yeah, you know what I mean. But basically, we can't judge other people. But since I'm on the seat, and I really wanted to be here, and I'm glad I'm getting an opportunity to put this out because you're my man.
Absolutely.
You know, so for now, when people hear the story, they can go back to the Russell Simmons thing and know that never happened. They can go back to the Puffy thing and understand that TK Kirkland had nothing to do with it. It was a girl that was associated with that. And that the only thing that really happened was the watch, and I apologize for that.
And gave it back.
And gave it back. But I was 19 years old now. I was a kid. Most of all the stuff, I was a child. So my point is, you go through lessons in life.
Gotcha.
Now, if I'm doing something like that today, it's a different story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I thought you stole something, TK.
You know, I think I took some gum this morning.
What do you enjoy more, though? Say a serious question: being a comedian or like a street guy? Like a criminal?
I'm not a street guy.
Okay.
I'm not a street guy. I'm a father.
True.
I take parenting very, very serious. And I got 2 boys in college. I got 2 girls who I love to death, and their upbringing is extremely important to me. And that's all that matters. I make money so that I can take care of my children.
Right.
And all the things in life, I have never loved anybody. And my boys know this too. My girls, I have never loved anyone as much as I love them. So by them being in my life has helped me to make better choices. Because I'm tested all the time in the street. And I have to really turn the other cheek and give people passes because I know what it is to be in front of a judge. I know what it is to feel like paying attorney fees and flying all over the country, and you got to be back by a certain day for a court day. Ain't nobody got time for that.
People still test you now. You at the
to
OG?
this day, they still test.
You 55.
Yeah, they still test, yo. They still test. It could be about women. It could be about jealousy because even though I'm at my age, I'm extremely young and strong and handsome. It's not my fault.
Now, it's a lot of things you've turned down over the years too, right? Just as far as like industry stuff, like TV.
No. I never auditioned for anything ever.
Really?
I never took that route. I never went for an audition. That was never my thing. I never wanted to be involved with that. I never I want to be on that TV show or I want to do that movie. I just knew where to get the money, and I knew that I was a stand-up comic, and I knew there was a $9,000, $10,000 check coming up in 2 days. I was going to get the money.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood, and I talk to William Morris all the time about different things, Hollywood is really not set up for Afro-American people.
Even now in 2016?
Yeah, even now. We got a couple. They give us a couple spots here and there, but we don't, it's not even 1% of Afro-Americans really doing well. So when people ask me about getting them in the business, I tell them go to school, get a trade, and depend on you.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could tell you this, if we wasn't stand-up comics and some other comedians wasn't stand-up comics and we had to depend on acting, we'll be struggling.
All right.
Because a lot of people are rich because of stand-up.
So what's your ultimate goal for TK even at this point?
My ultimate goal.
You're a comedian's comedian. You're everybody's favorite comedian's probably favorite comedian.
My goal now, I'm working on an HBO special.
Okay.
I'm gonna rock that and really show the world where most comics got their style from. You know, I'm gonna do that. And I think once I do that, I'm gonna fall back, yo. I just really want to raise my children. And
how many kids you got?
I have 4. And I just want to see my girls just grow up to be beautiful women and independent and not depend on men. You know, and if I can pull that off, that would be the greatest gift I've ever achieved in the world.
Who do you like? Who's been your favorite over the years?
Favorite comic?
Yeah.
Who's my favorite guy? Most of all the comedians, I don't see no originality, if that makes any sense. I see everybody talking about the same subject matters, and that's how when I go on stage, I try to have comedians who don't curse and who don't use profanity or talk about sex, right? Because from an audience perspective, by the time I go on, which is always last, everybody, they may not talk about the same material, but we talk about the same topics.
Same subject. Right?
So by the time I get on, that topic has been talked about already, and then I have to go on stage and be super clever and take different things out of my act to make sure that people have a great show. But going back to what you say, who I think one of my favorite comedians is, no one.
Damn. What about Kevin Hart?
Not Chris Rock?
Kevin Hart has a beautiful personality, but Kevin Hart knows for a fact he's not really funny.
Really?
No, Kevin, as a stand-up comic, Kevin Hart is a beautiful guy. Beautiful, but you can ask any comic in the game, Kevin Hart is really not that funny, but Kevin Hart is a nice guy. It's a difference.
Well, now, see, that's funny you say that because comedians will say that, but people find him hilarious.
But when you find social media, right, it's just like social media changed the game. You know, who would ever thought the Kardashians would be as big as they are? You know, who would ever thought Amber Rose would be as big as she is? Social media. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You can't, it's not hating, it's just telling the truth. So Kevin Hart hit social media at the right time. I've been with Kevin for years. The thing with Kevin is he's brilliant. He has a hard team working for him. My definition of a great stand-up, whoever walks in the room and they say, I'm not going on after him, that's a great stand-up
What about Chris Rock?
Yeah, what about Chris Rock?
Chris Rock is on a whole nother level. Chris Rock is God in the comedy game. But if you ask Chris Rock about TK Kirkland, he'll tell you, yo, that's the baddest dude in the game when it comes to stand-up. Him, Dave Chappelle, all of them will tell you how phenomenal I am as a stand-up comic.
I've always liked you, Chris, and I like Patrice O'Neal, too.
Oh, yeah, God bless him. Yeah. You're a real good dude. And the only reason why I could say I could take the title on that, and Charlamagne could tell you, when we was on tour with Keisha Cole, you know, most comics come on first. Right. They put me third right before Keisha Cole, and I was rocking the crowd like I had a band. You go on tour with NWA, you take the Rough Rider Cash Money tour, you take the Death Row's Up and Smoke tour. I'm rocking shows like I had a band on stage. I don't think no comic could ever do that.
Oh, well, you in town this weekend, right? You're in New York this weekend?
Sunday, I'm doing a big show over in New York, in Newark, in Elizabeth, New Jersey, called Club Envy.
Club Envy.
And if everybody you're listening to this, come see one of the hottest underground comics in the world. Come do his thing, and follow me on Instagram. That way you can see all my other shows in the area at TK_Kirkland.
There you have it.
T to the mother cake.
We appreciate you joining us.
Yes, yep, I appreciate it too, and to the staff and to everything. Y'all keep doing your thing. And what happened to Hot 97?
We don't know.
I don't know who that is.
But wasn't they in the same building?
No.
Nah.
They're not. Yeah.
Okay, wow. And no disrespect, you know, I've known y'all a while, right? I didn't know y'all was that big.
Really?
No, I'm for real. Like I put on Instagram.
When did you realize?
Last night. Last night.
I said,
Because I
to the
put on
Breakfast Club.
Instagram, I'm going on the Breakfast Club. Everybody and their mama was like, congratulations. I said, it ain't, into myself, like, it ain't that serious. Yeah, like, what's going on? Like, when did they blow up like that? Yeah, and then I knew y'all was real when y'all sent the little beautiful short girl down to be my security guard downstairs, and she came and got me. I said, you here to protect me? She said, yeah. And then when she bought the 2 straws for me to stir my tea, I said, oh, yeah, they treating them right up here, y'all.
There you go. TK Kirkland is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.